Alright guys, what's going on? Zuko back with the birds. Another Shadowlands video. Listen, I don't have a coffee right now. I've got a Coke instead. I'm sorry. That's I don't even know what to say about that. I don't have a coffee, okay? Deal with it. Just deal with it, okay? Alright, that's it. Listen, I got my Twitch logo thing over here again, which is pretty sweet. Go check out that. And I got this gnome from look at him. He's so cute. Listen, this gnome is gonna be staying with us. And we need to name this gnome. Okay? We need to name the gnome. So there's gonna be a link to my Twitter. I got a Twitter now. In the bottom of the video, I need you guys to go to the Twitter. It's Zuko Vibes at Zuko Vibes, and I need you to help me name the gnome. Okay? All right, get on that. Get over there and let's name this gnome. I have a couple of name suggestions on my Twitter. You go check that out. There'll be a link to my Twitter in the comments or in the below this video as well. Okay, what are we doing today? We are doing Resto Druid. I want to talk about my favorite way to play Resto Druid, and first, I need to play you a clip really quickly. We need to switch to this really quick. Let's I just want to show you this. There might be a world in which Adaptive Swarm is like okay, but really, like I was saying before, this is kind of weak because it's not a 100% chance. I said this in another video. If this Adaptive Swarm Legendary was a 100% chance to spread Adaptive Swarms, then this would be fine. But it's not, and so this makes it kind of bad. It just makes it bad. Yeah, so... Listen, that was a long time ago. You know, I was a younger person when that happened. I'm not the same anymore. Okay, that was like at least 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay, that was a long time ago. I don't know who that guy is anymore. Okay? Listen, I'm going to do something that I never do on this channel, and I'm going to say that I might have been wrong about this. And that's what we're going to test out today. I never do anything wrong. What are you talking about? Listen, we are testing Resto Druid Adaptive Swarm Legendary. Guys, this thing is good. That is the takeaway, and it makes me very sad that I'm going to say that, but I promise you it's actually good. I'm going to try kitty weaving as well, which I'm very bad at. Very bad at. It's just like, it's like awful. Back in, get this down. Listen, Adaptive Swarm is good. It's quite good. It's not just good, it's actually quite good. Like, you're gonna see, I'm incapped. These guys aren't kicking it. Listen, this is only a +2. I actually wanted to do this test on a higher dungeon, but it's okay. We're fine with that. We're gonna do the +2. What I want to show you, primarily what I want to show you is, by the end of the dungeon, I want you to see how much healing Adaptive Swarm did and how much damage Adaptive Swarm did, because oh my gosh, this legendary really surprised me. The clip that it shows there of me being an idiot is me saying that this legendary doesn't make any sense because it's only a 60% chance to proc the Adaptive Swarm, right? You only a 60% chance. So it feels bad to me, but in reality, if it had more than a 60% chance, it would probably be insane. Like, I think they had to pull it back a little bit because it's actually really good. Like, man, it's actually good. So that's what we're going to get at today. That's what we're going to test in this dungeon. I want to show you the amount of healing that this thing does all by itself. Look at it. It's like matching my other heals, and the amount of damage that it does. You'll also going to see it's third on my healing. It's third on my damage as well. It just does a lot of damage and a lot of healing, and it never freaking goes away. And it's really cool. It also benefits from your mastery. For those of you that don't know, Adaptive Swarm is a hot you can put on an ally, or it's a dot that you can put on an enemy. You can do either one, right? That's how it works. So right now, it's going to come off cooldown. I have dots that are rolling on this mob, and I'm going to put Adaptive Swarm on him. It puts another dot on him, but it also improves all of the rest of the dots that I already have. It makes all the rest of the dots that I have do more damage, which is very cool. Ready for this? We're going to go like this, we're going to go like this. So the trick is you want to put as many dots on the guy as possible, and then you want to throw an Adaptive Swarm, and it buffs them all. I have an Adaptive Swarm out right now, and it's buffing all the dots. I also have an Adaptive Swarm on my ally, because Adaptive Swarm not only is just an ability that you can press, it'll spread. Once it's done doing its damage, it will jump to an ally or an enemy. And it's very, very cool that it does this. So the point of this legendary, giving it a 60% chance to spread twice, it has a 60% chance to jump into 2 swarms every single time it jumps. The reason that that's significant is because it has 3 charges. See how it's got a 3 here and a 2 here and a 2 here? These 2 charges, they're all going to jump. See how they all just jumped and refreshed? Everybody in my party has an Adaptive Swarm buff right now. Everybody. Which is amazing. It's so cool, guys. It's just jumping all over the place all the time. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's something really fun about this. And really, like, it's just the whole dungeon, it just goes. It starts at 3 stacks, and when it jumps, it goes to 2 stacks, and when it jumps, it goes to 1 stack. That's how it works, right? It'll jump to enemies, it'll jump to allies. The text of it reads, Adaptive Swarm will jump. Every time it jumps, it's going to jump to the opposite. So if it's on an ally, it'll jump to an enemy. That's not entirely true. That's actually just not true, because I've had it jump from ally to ally before, which I think is really cool. Get this ready. So what do you want to do with Adaptive Swarm? You want to be pressing it on cooldown. Always be pressing this button. Here it comes. I'm going to press it. Only a 25-second cooldown. Look at it jump. It just split. Now 4 of my party members have the Adaptive Swarm buff on them. So not only is it healing them, but it's increasing all the healing that they're receiving by 33%. Any other hots that I put on these guys are 33% stronger. That basically means that you could put a like a wild growth out, right? And every one of those wild growths, is hitting 33% harder, which is really good. And because of the splitting effect of this legendary, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. It's crazy. Watch, they're all about to expire. Oh, they just expired because they were all in their last charge. We'll get them back. Don't worry about it. We will get them back. You can also cast it on enemies, as I said. I'm going to cast one on this Marauder. And he just died, so it's going to jump to somebody. That's another thing, too. If it's on an enemy and they die, it just jumps to the next enemy, which is really cool. He's fine. So, what build am I running here? Let me just talk about that really quickly. First of all, with the Soulbinds, I've got Marileth, and I want to get this. You want the Evolved Swarm, because it makes the adaptive part go even better. I think the base adaptive, like the extra bonus you're getting from Adaptive Swarm, is 25%, and then you can obviously get that conduit that I just showed you, and it turns into 33%. So all of my hots on those guys are 33% stronger, which is crazy. Okay. And then I actually have tank conduits on right now because I was just tanking a dungeon, so this isn't even optimal. But in terms of the entire build that I'm doing, what are we looking at? First of all, you're really looking at mastery because... Yeah, you can go over here. You want to go for mastery? Shoot, I've been neglecting my swarms. I actually feel like an idiot. Mastery is great. I mean, you don't always want to get mastery as a Resto Druid anyway, because it's actually quite difficult to stack up. But here's my point. My point is, this is an additional hot that you get to use that it contributes to your mastery, right? So your mastery is that all your healing is increased by a percentage based on each heal over time effect that's on the target. This counts as a heal over time effect. So, you know, very, very good. Also, Life Bloom, it counts towards Life Bloom if you take photosynthesis. Every time your Life Bloom is on an ally, your other periodic heals have a chance to make it bloom. That includes Adaptive Swarm. So it's very strong for that as well. It just makes all your overtime stuff better, which is like everything that you do, you know? It just, and I got 2 of them on the enemy right now. They're going to spread to somebody else. We're going to go to the allies probably. They're going to jump to my allies. So there's a swarm over there, and there's a swarm on my tank now. I'm going to put a swarm on myself. So now we have 3 swarms running. And it's blooming on the tank. You can hear the blooms go off. The other major talent that I always take is Soul of the Forest, and I really think that this is quite strong. Soul of the Forest means that when you Swift Mend, one of your next heals is buffed substantially. So it's really good. It helps you in like emergency situations, like perhaps what we're gonna have right here. Watch this. I'm gonna press this. I mean, everybody died. I need to do a harder dungeon, but the point is, you can basically like Soul of the Forest buff your wild growth if you want to, and if everybody has an adaptive swarm on them, then all those adaptive swarms are buffing your wild growth, which you have juiced with your Swift Man. Do you see the combo there? That's the like combo. Look at the swarms running around. They just go on their own. I got 4 out right now. Gonna get the dots rolling. Oops. We'll go there. Okay. Do this. Hit him with that. Every time you cast it, you have a chance to split with this legendary, including the first time you cast it, which is quite cool. Watch this. We're gonna Swift Mend this guy, and we're gonna Wild Growth everybody. Oh. Everybody's fine, man. The healing is just, it's good. It's crazy. Swarms are jumping around. Really, one thing that's important here is you don't have to think about this. You don't have to think about it at all. You just need to keep casting it on cooldown. It's the most important part. Cast it on cooldown. That's what you got to do. And if you do that, then it's just going to keep jumping, and it's going to last for the entire dungeon, and it's going to be very cool. Bit more damage coming out here. I'm going to put Life Bloom on myself, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that to that guy. Hit him with this. Hit him with the Swift Mem. Hit him with the Wild Growth. Now we have Wild Growths going around, and my Adaptive Swarm is on a couple people too, which would mean that they're not going to take any damage. I'm going to do a much higher version of the dungeon, I think a little bit later, because I think that this just scales really, really well into the higher dungeons. I'm going to cast this before I go up, not to waste time on it. Again, you want to cast it on cooldown. Even if you're in a transition like this, even if you're moving from one pack to the other, cast Adaptive Swarm. Do not stop casting this thing, because it will just keep going. It's going to jump to another person. Look, it just jumped to somebody, and I was in the midair there. And it has a chance to split every time it jumps, right? With our legendary, so we want to be casting it on cooldown. Okay. Here it is again. Adaptive Swarm again. Gonna put it on him. This is gonna get really messy, which is great. That's what we want. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit myself. Hit that guy. And then I'm gonna do a Wild Growth. Hit that guy again. Adaptive Swarm's coming back. It's jumping around. We got one on everybody right now. We'll put one on the Hunter. He doesn't have one right now. Oh, he's got one now. Okay, let's put one on this bad guy. It'll jump once it's done killing him. There, just jump to somebody and has a chance to split, right? It's so cool. Like, you're never not healing people. Here goes the Adaptive Swarms. They just jumped to like 3 enemies. There's 5 on that guy, 5 on that guy. What the 5 means? Look, there's 3 on this guy, 3 on this guy. Look at them all. They're all over the place. Oh, good. People took damage. Thank God. More swarms, more swarms, more swarms. Oh, they're already there. Let's put a wild growth out, and then the swarm's going to buff it. So that wild growth is 33% stronger now. It's just like nuts. Oh, look, that guy took damage. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking damage. I think this combination is just really cool. It's really cool. If you take the Swiftmen Soul of the Forest, you can get juiced wild growths, which then you can buff further with Adaptive Swarm. Look at 3 swarms just jumped out here. So you have the Soul of the Forest buff, and then you have the Photosynthesis. So you put a Life Bloom on somebody, on the tank, and not only does the Adaptive Swarm trigger the Life Bloom, it makes every hot on that person stronger. I think there's some real cases to be made here for like tank healing with Adaptive Swarm. Like you could take Cenarian Ward and then Soul the Forest, and you could just Swiftmend a tank and then hit them with a regrowth, and it's like enormous amounts of healing. Like it's crazy. It's just good. The Adaptive Swarms are jumping around. Always keep casting it, because they will just keep jumping over and over and over again. They'll keep jumping. And it's really, really fun to have that out. To have all of the hots that you're using are basically constantly 33% stronger. And that conduit just gets better. I only have a 200 version of it. It just gets better. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them out. They're all going to jump again. They're jump to other allies. They jump to the enemies already. So let's get some other dots going. Let's get our rakes going as Kitty. Like, that's what you can do as well, right? Sneak in, get some kitty damage done. All your kitty dots are stronger. They are 33% stronger. This guy's just standing in Morbid Fixation. That was a good chance for us to show off the how strong this healing is. Like, I just stood on the Morbid Fixation. I love it. There. They're jumping around again. Swarm, another swarm. Make sure we keep swarming. Don't ever want to stop swarming. There's swarms on the enemies now as well. Right, let's get the dots rolling. Let's get back to healing people. We're gonna do a big heal here. Into a wild growth. Like, I need to do a higher key, because these guys aren't taking enough damage. You can see, like, on that small little area, I was almost up to 4k healing. Which is nothing. Like, that's not actually a lot. It's okay, but my point is it just gets better. It just gets better. Looks like it's also jumping to the pets. Yeah, this pet only doesn't have it right now. Huh, that was curious. I wasn't sure if he was jumping to the pets or not. It's just super fun. Here comes Swarm again. Make sure you cast it, man. It's like your highest priority button when you're running this build. You must press this thing all the time. If you don't, it makes the build really bad. It makes this legendary quite bad. You gotta press this thing. Sorry, not that. Oh, this thing here. Got it. You must press it because of this. Oops. Didn't mean to trank there. I meant to press Overgrowth. Yes, I'm also running Overgrowth. Just for fun. Just to test it. I like Overgrowth. It's kind of cool in this scenario where you need... Oh, we lost it. That's cool. Morbid? Someone's gonna die. It's me. Haha. I'm running. I'll do this to myself. It's also instant cast, right? So you can just run around and do it. Swarm's jumping around. There goes one. There's one on the boss. There's one on the tank. There's one on our warrior. You got to keep it going. Once you get them going, that's when it gets amazing. It gets really cool. Here's another swarm for our tank. Let's give him Cenarian Ward. This guy messed up the meat hook so bad. It's coming back. 7 seconds. Almost back. Please do this, right? Okay, he's going to do it right. Okay. Who doesn't have a swarm? Our tank doesn't have a swarm. Let's give him one. Let's give him a life bloom as well. I'm getting attacked, but that's okay. Watch this healing. You can just keep tanks alive so easily, man. It's crazy. There we go. We got him down. Swarm's coming back. 7 seconds. 4 seconds. Cast it before we leave. Let's see who doesn't have one. I don't have one. Let's put it on me. And then by the time we get up to the top, it'll jump again. Okay? And hopefully it'll split. Every time it jumps, we're hoping it'll split. Okay? So here we go. Adaptive Swarm. It's going to split. There, it just splits to allies. Again, the text sort of reads that it alternates between friend and foe. It doesn't. It'll just jump to your friends if that's all that's available. And it's very cool that it does that. Otherwise, it would be a bit worse of an ability, right? These guys have to leave. Oh, well, let's see if I can keep that guy alive. This is a great test. This guy's gonna die. Let's see if we can keep him alive. Nope. He died so fast. The guy, I dispelled, but they didn't get out in time. That's really funny. He just immediately dies. It's alright. Is it on me? Good, it's on me. Do. I can res this guy, I'm an idiot. Res him. I'm a druid, I forgot about that. I haven't played this in so long. Okay, swarm. Make sure we swarm. Everybody run. Everybody out of there? Oh boy. That's not good. This guy's gonna die as well.
Beware. Escape the storm.
Oh, he lived. I actually don't know how he lived. Everybody's out of there, right? Let's res this guy, I guess.
Beware. Escape the storm.
Keep forgetting to press my storm. I mean, I can't just wait forever. I gotta break these guys out eventually.
Beware. Escape the storm.
It's fine. People don't know how to do this fight. That's okay. You guys were kind of new. Look at the swarms jumping around. Oh, we're low on percentage. It's fine. Return me to the ground. We get to do more swarms, baby. More swarms. There we go. That guy died. I don't know what just happened there. The swarms are out. I'm not sure how he died, actually. It's a great question. Okay, let's go get our loot. Okay, so we're gonna look at the healing overall. It's actually not gonna be that great because nobody took any damage. Okay, this is particularly amazing when you get to bursting. But look at this thing. This is just the healing that it did, all on its own. It's still jumping around, by the way. Look at it. There's 5 on me. There's 4 on this guy. It's gonna keep jumping around until those get to 0. This is gonna jump 4 more times. Watch, that's 5. It'll go to 4. Jumped up to 5. I don't know why it jumped up to 5 actually. Oh, because it split. Because it split again. So, like, it can self-perpetuate. That's what's crazy about this. It can just keep going on its own. 5, 4. Didn't get a split there. Oh, no, this one went to 5. We did get a split. Did you see that? So these are at 4, and this is at 5. So if it splits correctly, if it gives us a split, which is the legendary kicking in, look, this just went up to 5. It went from 2 to 5. So that's this legendary. It has a 60% chance to split, and when it splits, it starts a new adaptive swarm, which is like, look at them all. They just go forever. They go forever, guys. And the healing on this thing is my second highest healing, and there was basically no healing to be done in this dungeon. Like, I didn't have to do any healing because it was so, there was just no damage, which is unfortunate. What do I get? Pants? Boots? Not right now. Okay, let's do this. It's still jumping around. 333. Like, oh, once it gets going, it lasts forever. Like on the very first pack of the dungeon, it's a little bit like meh, because you got to get it going. But once it gets going, man, holy moly, you can't stop it. It just is unstoppable. Um, Let me try and find like a 5 if somebody will do that with me. Sure, let's do Aspires. I want to try and showcase the actual like oh, I gotta leave this group. Refresh. Sorry about that, Aspires. Sign up. I want to try and oh my gosh, what? Dude, no. He canceled his key? That's sad. It's 5 Sanguine Depth, sure. Let's do that. What I want to show is how powerful this can be because honestly it can be very very strong. I think the healing on this is going to be really crazy. I think like the potential for this is going to be off the charts, and I want to try and showcase that a little bit in a better dungeon. So if you guys want to jump off now, I understand that. Totally fine. That's what I wanted to showcase. Here's the build that you're going to want to run. In my opinion, Overgrowth is questionable. You can do whatever you want. You can go Spring Blossoms. Um, in a raid, Spring Blossoms is much better because people don't move a lot. Like you can target like a ranged group and just throw this on them, or the tanks and throw it on them. In Mythic Plus, people tend to move a lot more, so it's just a lot of mana that you're using. But to cast Efflow, but Efflow is very good. Don't get me wrong. We're going Soul of the Forest. Everything else is kind of whatever. You can go Nourish, or you could, Abundance. You probably want to go Cenarian Ward for Mythic Plus. We're going Photosynthesis, Soul of the Forest. We're going Plague Divisor. I haven't even got to the bottom yet. Like this would just get better. Um, and I don't even have these things, but don't worry about that. Like this. Imagine with this conduit. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. This legendary, Bindings of the Locust Swarm. Then you want Soul of the Forest, Photosynthesis. That's the build. What are you trying to do? You are trying to get your swarms going as quickly as possible. Don't ever stop casting swarm. Cast it on cooldown. Then you're hoping that it will split, and then it's just giving you this passive buff to all of your healing all the time. Not to mention the friggin' healing it does all on its own. It did almost my highest amount of healing in the entire dungeon all on its own. Like, that's the bigger portion, I think, of Adaptive Swarm is that it buffs all your healing by 33%, in my case, 33%. Like, but it actually does a lot of healing on its own, and it does a lot of damage on its own. It was my second highest DPS. It's just jumping around, doing damage, right? I'm not very good at doing damage as a druid, I'll give you that one, but that's what I'm trying to show there. So let's run into this +5. That's what you need to do the build, guys. I'm going to go and do a second dungeon right now, and I'm going to keep this video rolling. But I want to just show you how this might work in a harder dungeon where there's actually going to be mechanics. The reason that this is going to be good is because this week we have oh, we don't have bursting. Wait, it must be bursting in the Legion dungeons. That's fine. I'll try that over there. But anyway, everything's going to hit harder here, which is great. So, why I think this is really good, I think it gives you adaptable tank healing. The Soul of the Forest buff in particular, if you consume a Swiftman on something and then hit the tank with a regrowth or a rejuve, it's so much healing. It's a 200%. It's times 2. So both the upfront healing and the healing over time for regrowth is times 2. On top of that, you put photosynthesis on the tank, and everything has a chance to bloom, including the adaptive swarms. Okay. So it's very, very strong for that way. 33% more hots is no joke, man. Everything we're doing is a hot. So it's just really good. Oh, let's go over here. Let's run over here.
How may I serve?
It's just really, really good. Gonna do the Sanguine Depths. I'm just gonna show the very first part of the dungeon. I want to show you guys like a couple of big pulls and how much healing we can pump out with this thing when it's a little bit more of a dangerous dungeon. And on top of that, I did want to mention the Twitter stuff before. I'm on Twitter now, and I'm gonna put a poll up there about naming the gnome over here. We gotta make sure we name it. Um, that is an important thing to remember. But guys, if you're planning on playing Resto Druid, this is my favorite way to play it right now. You can play Convoke. You can go Night Fae. and play Convoke, and it's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's very strong. In those Convoke windows, when you can just go off with it, you can either do a ton of damage because you can Convoke in Kitty form or in Moonkin form, and you will do astronomical amounts of damage. And it will also sometimes pick a special ability from that affinity. Like for Feral Druid, it can pick Feral Frenzy, which is a really large dot, sorry. And then for Boomkin, it can pick I think Full Moon. I think it can throw a Full Moon down on the enemy. So important to remember that you can have the flexibility with Convoke. Obviously, you can take Heart of the Wild, and you get an even stronger Convoke, right? Because you pop Heart of the Wild, then you pop Convoke in like Feral form, and you're just doing a lot of damage. You're actually doing a ton of damage. So that is something you can do. What I'm trying to showcase here is that I think there's another way to play Resto Druid in particular. I don't know if it's quite as good on Feral or on Guardian, and certainly all the Boomkins are running Venthyr right now, but for Resto Druid in particular, I wanted to show that this is very good. This is exactly what Resto Druid wants. You want to have your Hots being stronger, because the Hots are good on their own, but they're good over time. You have to sort of get the full effect. If a Rejuvenation lasts for a full 15 seconds, sorry, then it's going to do a lot of healing, but sometimes sometimes you need burst healing, and you don't have time to let all the hots roll. And that's why I really love to run Soul of the Forest. It provides that flexibility, that burst healing. And on top of all that, if you have an adaptive swarm on the guy, all of your hots are 33% stronger, which just means that you can keep everybody alive for longer. It just is much. It's just a lot more strength to your hots, which is amazing. Let me just show you the first part of the Sanguine Depths, and then I'm gonna cut this video because we're going way too long here. But let me show you what this is like. Oh, I should have swarmed already. Oh, I should have pre-swarmed. That's really a mistake, actually. You should swarm before the dungeon demon goes out. Hopefully they grab more. There we go. Ready for this? We're gonna wait for the damage. Oh, there's no damage. Everybody's crushing. Oh my gosh, they're doing so much damage. Let's Soul the Forest that guy. And then let's get the Adaptive Storms rolling. Whoa. Sven's really big. They may notice that. This warrior is going to draw aggro all night because he's doing a lot of damage. Soul of the Forest buff coming in. This is what I'm talking about. This is where I want there to be damage, man. Look at everybody's taking a bit of damage, but it doesn't matter because we are just rolling in the heels. Grab lots. We can handle it. We know we can handle it. Adaptive Swarm. Time to put it out. Let's go. Get it out there. We're going to Swiftman this guy, and he's going to be just fine. Remember to, okay, he's going to do a big pull. That's fine. Let's pre-hot everybody. Make sure we get this going. Adaptive Swarm's coming. What we're going to do is Life Bloom ourselves. This is it. This is the test right here. This is what we want, baby. That warrior thinks he's dead, but he's fine. He's fine. Like, it's awesome. It's actually just awesome. Kick that. Oh my gosh. They didn't kick that. Those guys are crazy. Crazy, I tell you. It's on me? Okay. I could have went bear there. I need to set up like my macros to be better for bear. Swarm is going out. Here we go. Remember, if you life bloom yourself while Swarm is running, we have photosynthesis. So what does that mean? It means that when your life bloom is on yourself, all your periodic effects are better. Sorry, including Adaptive Swarm is what I was trying to say there. So my Adaptive Swarm, when I put it on, I gotta get this guy to the grave. Watch this. Boom, I get him with a rejuve. Watch this rejuve, get him back. Look at his health, man. The rejuve is just so good. What I was trying to say, sorry, very badly, is that Adaptive Swarm also benefits from when you Life Bloom yourself. When you have Life Bloom on yourself, it makes all your hots go 20% faster. So that includes Adaptive Swarm, which is really great. But it means you got the flexibility. You can switch it to your tank, who's gonna get wrecked, or this warrior who's just crushing everything. We're gonna Swiftman him, and then we're gonna Wild Growth everybody. With all the Adaptive Swarms, everybody has an Adaptive Swarm, and everybody has a Wild Growth. It's disgusting. It's so much healing. Look at the green things. Ding, 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 ding. It's just good, man. It's just good. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna do the rest of this dungeon, and I'm gonna keep playing with this. I don't want you guys to have to do too long of a video here, so I realize it's already long enough. One more pull here, and then we'll go. I'll set you free. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to post some more shaman videos. I'm going to be doing actually a big announcement soon on videos that I want to be... Oh, I got silence. This is bad. Hold on. Hold that thought. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you want. You want everybody to die. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm going to be doing some videos on dungeons in particular. And I'm gonna start a new series on dungeons with shamans and some other classes too, but I'm gonna start with shaman. And I'll tell you guys about that later in another video. But for now, thanks for watching this. I hope you go out and play this yourself. Go try Resto Druid with Adaptive Swarm. You're gonna love it. It's really fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.